Hey, so we just did an interview yesterday that I'm not going to give too much information yet. Stay tuned for the next episode. But when I did that explosions, he got all scared, like, like what was that? Did you see his face?
Whose face? Oh, yeah.
His face. What do you mean, whose face? His face. He was just like, what was that? um, but you know who we need to get back on here?
There's a lot of
Michael.
people.
Michael? Is it Michael? From Blendjet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get him back on here. I know he'll probably have a blast listening to all the sounds. Anyway, happy New Year once again, everyone. Hope we're doing good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening in CES, and wanted to share some stuff. If you guys missed the live show that we did yesterday, January 6th, you got to go to YouTube and watch it, or just stay tuned until Monday. You guys will be able to listen to it. The video for this is happening January 8th. Did I say June? June earlier? January 8th. Make sure you guys go to YouTube and also follow us there if you guys want to watch us. If you guys want to get a visual of what we have, what we show, there's a lot of stuff that we do. Also, make sure you guys do check the description below. We got some good products. We got some Buzz TVs. We got some VPNs. We got some good stuff. Next level, what are you doing? What's up?
I'm staring at a plate of pancakes.
So you got food in front of you is what happened.
Well, yeah, it's here. You know, like
Nice. Well, you could eat. You could eat.
I'm not gonna eat.
I'm not going to deprive you from eating because it's gonna get cold by the end of this episode. There you go. Did you get that at CES?
It says my mini waffle maker. Anyways, yeah. So there's a lot of cool stuff always that comes out in CES. I don't know if I'm as excited to physically go to CES as I once was. You know
Why
what I
is
mean?
that?
There's a lot of different things. Like, well, for one, with how contagious recent events are, I don't know if I really want to go to them. And then the other thing is, it's not even just a self issue, it's like a company issue. Like, we talked to the interview yesterday, and they were like, yeah, we decided not to go. And there's a lot of other companies that decided not to go and just do a virtual presence, anyways. So I could spend all this money, get to the States. You know, like I think I was telling you, it was like over $3,000 for me to go. And I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money. And then what did they do? They canceled the last day, anyways. So I just, I think that going forward, they should do both. There should be a virtual side and a physical side. You know, for the things that you can't virtually really get your hands-on feel on, then sure, people can come there and check it out. But it just, to me, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that whole, this whole world that we're living in right now, I think once it all goes away, it's gonna, well, see, that's the thing. Like, I had a conversation yesterday about this, and this, we get our annual flu shot because of what happened 100 years ago. So what happened 100 years ago, it took them about close to, I think it was like 8 years, close to 10 years, like 8 to 10 years before, like, it was not gone, but at least not how it is right now. Kinda. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to explain it. Like, what happened 100 years ago never truly went away because people were still getting the flu every year, and people were getting flu shots every year. And that was like the new norm. Like, it was like, this is what we need to do.
Well,
Now it's
SARS never went away because the COVID is just an evolution of SARS.
right. So it's kind of like, it's here, it's never going to go away. It's just a matter of our bodies I don't know, evolving, or our bodies finding a way to fight it. And it's interesting because it's not even going to be us, and it's not even going to be our kids. It's going to be our kids' that will be in some sort of like an out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Like, whatever. Here's the normal flu shot. Whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, the states approved the use of the Pfizer pill, so you're going to see pills just now.
Mhm.
So you're going to get pills and shots and I don't know, kegs. I don't know what else you're going to do.
Yeah. It's crazy. It
Does
is
my audio sound
crazy.
okay now?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay,
Cool.
good.
I'm gonna show you some stuff.
Uh-oh. Wow.
I'm not gonna go too. What the freak is this? Every time I click on this screen here, it takes me somewhere. Oh, there's a hidden ad here. That's why. Okay,
Dude, you should use Brave browser. That's what I use when I'm doing StreamYard.
Brave browser.
Use
Okay,
Brave browser.
arcade one up infinity game table. How does this make you feel?
What is it? What is it? What am I looking at?
It's from Arcade One Up. Has enjoyed success over the years with its line of retro game cabinets. Those 3/4 size arcade machines featuring classic such as Galaga, Miss Pac-Man, etc., etc. Arcade One Up's newest experience is the Infinity Gaming Table from $6.99. It's a touchscreen tabletop featuring classic board games that can be played up to 6 people. This includes games like Monopoly, Scrabble, Battleship, Candyland, Trivial Pursuit, just among some others. Using their fingertips on the 24 or 32-inch water and impact resistant high resolution display. Haptic feedback means you will feel a slight tactical vibration when you say rolling the dice or sinking a battleship. What do you think?
So it's a big tablet as a coffee table? Is that what I'm looking at?
I guess. I think isn't One Up. I think One Up is in. Well, I know there's a One Up like not that far from me.
Okay, so processed, and I feel like we are in need of the evolution of the board game, right? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but do you remember growing up and you had a cupboard specifically for all the board games that you had,
Mm-hmm.
right? You imagine just all those board games are now just a file on a coffee table tablet, and you can invite your kids over and everyone over, and you guys all huddle around your coffee table or even your kitchen table, right? Imagine if you turned your kitchen table into like a poker table just by a file that you could click in, or a Monopoly table, or whatever. I think that that would be really cool to see implemented in the future. And this might be, I guess, a stepping stone in order to get there.
Yeah. You know what? I've reached out to these guys before. I'm gonna see if these guys would come up on our on the podcast. Because I want to say they're not that far from me. I want to say they're
Everyone's in
pretty.
California until they move to Texas.
Everyone is in California. I was trying to see like if they have like a business address here. But latest news, they do got some cool stuff coming. Oh, they do have a collab section too. They're collabing with Miami Dolphins and stuff. Supreme, Champion, Bait. Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit these guys up and see what if we can get them on here. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, dude, this is sweet. This is actually very, very cool. Wanted to see what you thought about it. Um, so as we know, like smart home tech, we're starting to get more and more stuff. And I know because of all this stuff that's going on, the sickness. There's this new. So look, it says Moen smart faucet with motion control. So Moen isn't new to touchless faucets, but its latest model is reminiscent of an episode of Star Trek. There you go. You're a Trekkie.
I am a Trekkie, and I do like Moen, so I'm actually really interested in this. So tell me more.
So you could control the temperature using hand gestures. And I mean, not touching it. This is all hands free. Just by your hand, just air hand gestures. You wave it in front, it starts to pour, and you wave it up or down or whatever. When you flip it off, I don't know. But based on whatever these gestures are, swipe left for hot. Isn't it swipe left you're not interested, and swipe right you're interested?
I don't know. I wouldn't know about that stuff.
Swipe, well, it's in all the songs. Swipe left means you don't like it. So I guess swipe left is for hot, right for cold, or down for warm. A companion app available on both iOS and Android lets you actually set the default temperature. So when you turn it on, there's a default temperature.
I'm excited about this because, like, when I'm cooking or when I'm seasoning meat, I don't want to always be touching the tap. You know what I mean? So I like the idea of using the gestures, right, and not having to touch the tap, and it, like, me being able to communicate what temperatures are good for what situation I'm dealing with. I think this is really cool. Like, I'm actually interested. I'd probably buy one of these. Like, this is a buy for me.
This is a buy for me too. You know what I mean? I definitely like the smart home tech, but the first thing I was thinking is, like, imagine if you have a fly, you're like, if you have a Alexa, or as we like to call her, Juanita, or Google enabled smart speakers, you could ask for a specific temperature and the amount of water.
How would it even measure that? Well, I guess by the volume that passes through the pipe itself. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm already looking it up to see where I can find it, because I'm I'm like, I want one now. Place a pot underneath the faucet and ask for 2 cups of water. There's also a way to have a preset like coffee maker.
Whoa, you don't need measuring cups anymore?
No.
This is really cool. I mean, because I'm looking at an article on it too, and I'm like, okay, justify the price to me.
It already has.
This is cool.
It literally already has. I need a cup of water. Well, I actually, it's going to be interesting when I'm going to say I need 8 ounces. You're going to be like, I need a liter. I'm pretty sure you could have different measuring things on this thing. I'm sure they're
probably go by the app.
Yeah. So you could have some presets like coffee maker, dog bowl, baby bottle, with desired amounts and temperatures.
Oh, that's so cool. I like that already.
Coming out this spring. It showed it off during CES, but it's coming out this
smart
spring.
tech.
Huh?
Smart tech is finally becoming smart tech. Like, I'm excited for this.
Smart tech is definitely becoming smart tech. I'm super stoked about this stuff for sure. Okay. We like home security. This is some more home tech. So there's more. Look at this. There's more cameras coming. And they're calling it lights, camera, and more cameras. So some of these cameras are already, they have like built-in lights. So that way, if somebody walks through, it almost reacts like a floodlight, like where it just turns on and does its thing. You could sync outdoor cameras. So sync outdoor cameras. These new ones are coming out next month. And they're doing a lot. Look, $80 Adobe doorbell. Adobe.
For what? Like, what made Adobe say I need to get into this industry? Like, why?
It's huge. Right now, smart home security, people are ditching ADT, Brinks,
Yeah, but
the
what
Mountings,
what
the
difference
Mountaineers,
is
whatever they're
Adobe
called.
bringing to the table?
So, okay, I'm just going to read what they're doing. Um, Adobe announced a new wireless video doorbell and its first foray into smart home lighting with Adobe color bulbs. Neither of these require a connection to an Adobe Smart Home Security Hub, but they're compatible. The doorbell, $80, which is not that bad. It's battery powered, has 2K HD, which is every time I see 2K HD, I'm like, okay, it's a very nice 1080p. That's where it boils down to. It's got a 160-degree field view. I think most cameras,
Yeah.
they're anywhere between 120 and 180.
Yeah, but 180 is really rare. Like for a camera to actually, a camera can't do 180.
Right.
It's like really rare.
It's really rare when you do get it, but this one, it says 160. So the first thing that comes to my mind is that camera is going to is going to stick out just a little bit past the flush end of the doorbell. It's just going to be it's just going to stick out a little bit. So that way it can get that range. $80 is still pretty good.
Yeah.
It has full color night vision, which is something that is starting to come up with. There's a lot of companies out there that I've tried that have the full color night vision, but it looks grainy. So I'm kind of curious how nice this is going to be. Of course, it works with 2.4 Gs or can be connected with Ethernet. The battery life is supposed to last about 6 months.
That's about standard with these cameras, though, isn't it?
These are the standard. It's 4 to 6 months on batteries, which is good. They do have a subscription plan, recording if you want to record, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have that little SD card that you could slide in. If you want to record, connects to the app, you'll be able to pull it up. It comes with an Adobe Chime, Wi-Fi extender, and this is all supposed to come out in April. This new one. So Adobe's products will work with your Alexa, Google, IFTTT, and the doorbell can stream live video to a compatible smart display. So it looks like what they're doing is they're getting into the market. And you know what's interesting? Okay, here's Eufy. Eufy's actually come up with a new one. This is a 1080p. Their main camera is a 2K, 160 degrees. And see, like Arlo, same thing with the Arlo. The Arlo now has these buttons, numbers. It's like just a quick and you could call 911 or whatever you want. Smart home security steps it up. They're just making everything better and easier to set up and to do. The one thing I will say is, when I was checking out some of these smart home security cameras over the last, this is now going on 3 years since I've been doing this.
Yeah.
We have to remember, because of the whole thing that happened here in the States, there's a lot of companies that are not shipping to the States anymore. The biggest country that ships worldwide, made in China, we haven't been getting some of their products. And it's interesting because so when I first got into GearBest and Banggood, both China companies, both ladies that were working there, I really do miss those two. Those two were just great at what they did. They're just like, hey, Rojas, can we like it was like every other week I was getting something Like they were sending products constantly, both of them. They're just like here, 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 here. And of course, like when you're making a company money, they send you more products.
Right.
And there is a small commission. People are always wondering, like, does that people actually make stuff? Yeah, we do. It's not huge. It's not like game changer. Like, it's a source of income, and we typically, basically, all YouTubers have multiple sources of income. It's not just one. Have to, yeah.
If you were
You
going to
can't,
rely on just AdSense, you would die.
yeah, you can't do it in just one.
Unless you're Mr. Beast or something.
Unless you're huge, yeah. Unless you have like a really big channel. So these two ladies went on to different positions, and I got two new different reps. And they weren't as good as the original two that I had. It was like, hey, here, we sent you this device. Cool. I'm like, oh, and they be bugging me like every week. Did you get it? No. It usually takes about a month. Did you get it now? Dude, you just asked me this yesterday. No, I didn't get it now. Do you have the tracking number? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay, what does your tracking number say? And they're like, well, it says it's at the shipyard in China. So why are you asking me? Dude, like these two guys were just like a pain in the ass. And they were very grimy when it came to dollar amounts. Hey, we can't send you any new products unless you do X amount of videos or you make X amount of money total. And it's just like, okay, I'm not going to make a grip ton of videos just because you guys want me to. That's not what the agreement was to begin with. But what's interesting now is I'm not the only one that has experienced stuff like this with those two companies. I think Free Tech said he experienced something similar where they wanted him to say, hey, look, this product's great. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. I've never tested it out. Why am I going to say that? So it's just very interesting when companies like that's kind of like a Amazon competitor, can no longer send products out. So when's the last time you've heard of Vankyo?
It's been a few months. Vankyo and what's the other one? Started with a D, I think.
An E?
D.
D? You got to do it.
I don't know. There was another one. There's a couple of them.
There's a couple one. I know.
Dragon Touch.
What?
Dragon Touch. Dragon something? They made tablets?
Oh, yeah, Dragon Touch. Dragon Touch is still around. They're still around. The other one that I'm thinking of is Heim Vision. Remember Heim Vision?
No.
Heim Vision was sending me those big security cameras. They're not around anymore. Heim Vision's not around anymore. If you go to Amazon, and right now I just search Heim Vision, and it's funny because it says Heim Vision HM241, and it's just like, oh, cool. It's pulling up some of my search data from the past. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. If I do, let me see, Vankyo. I'm just gonna do Vankyo, just in general Vankyo. It's funny because I do see projectors, but not Vankyos. There's been a shift. There's been a shift with some of this stuff, and it's really hard to find some of this stuff. So when I see companies like this, like Adobe entering the market, dude, Adobe's a big name brand company. And it's really interesting to see when when we know Adobe as, like, every time I always tell Adobe to people, they think of PDF.
Yeah.
It's the first thing they think of, PDFs. Oh yeah, PDF. The PDF company is just like, dude, Photoshop, and they're like, oh, that's Adobe too. They're like, I've heard of Photoshop. People say like, oh, just Photoshop that. It's like, dude, that's Adobe.
To be fair, Adobe has acquired products over time. It didn't start all of their products. People don't know that, right? Like I was working with, oh man, what is the name of this one? It was one that was used to create magazines and books. Do you know the one I'm talking about? I
I
can't remember
don't.
the name of it now, but it wasn't originally with Adobe, and Adobe bought them.
Oh, yeah,
You know the one I'm talking about too. You're like,
I
ah, I
do.
can't remember the name.
I do. But it is interesting.
Here,
Okay, I got a few more here,
I
and I
got
know
one for
I
you.
okay. Let's see.
A smart door, the whole door, the whole door. It's called Empower Smart Doors, and it's fully integrated power, so it's connected to your home's power supply. It includes a battery backup, so if your power goes out in your house, it still has power for the door. It's got LED welcome lighting. It's programmable motion sensing light show, and it shows you the way to your house, I guess. It's built-in ring cam, built-in Yale smart lock. Now both of these are great. Like you've used both of these products. I think the one on your door is a Yale as well too, is it not?
It's August.
August, okay.
I've
And then the
tested Yale
door,
though. Yale's great.
Yale's great, yeah. And then the door itself is premium fiberglass, high quality, long lasting construction, stands up to wind and water. So this is for people that are looking to like piece together a whole smart door. Just replace the whole door; it's all built in.
Is that actually out
So
on sale?
this was in CES, and this is up for pre order right now, I think.
Okay.
So you
They
can get
had
the
something like that 2 years ago that were prototypes. They weren't out yet, and they said coming soon. No pre-sales. See, look, in this one, it said started as a concept a year ago, but it made its debut this year. So 2 years ago in 2021, there were several doors that were a smart door. They had
right.
smart windows. They had so many concepts that were out. And I'm like, dude, I can't wait for this to actually launch. So it looks like this is the year. This is the year that they're finally going to launch the stuff.
Yeah, yeah, this is cool. Help run routines. This is looking pretty cool. Yeah. So I thought that was looking cool. So I've been looking into getting something like that, and I wouldn't mind getting two new front doors actually. So we'll see.
We'll see. Nano leaf lines can now be a thread border router for your HomeKit home.
What?
Wemo revealed it's working on a thread version of the Wemo Smart Plug, Wemo Smart Light Switch, and Wemo Smart Dimmer to be released later this year. Look at this. Doesn't this look kind of cool?
Yeah, I heard that they were coming up with a lightsaber version, but it's a smart plug too.
Yeah.
I don't know
Look,
how I feel about it.
Eve's first thread-enabled smart blinds announced earlier. The motion blinds start at just $400 per shade. How many blinds do you have in your house? Think about that, and then add that up times 400.
That's a
Sounds like a
lot.
crypto problem. So it looks cool. It looks like let's see, Aquaro will release a new version of its motion sensors and door window sensors with thread technology built in the second half. So we're looking closer to like spring, summertime. It would work with HomeKit, your Alexa, your Google through Zigbee based hubs. The company also confirmed it will bring Matter support to its existing Zigbee. Now, I don't know if you've ever tested Zigbee before. Zigbee products?
No.
I don't like them. It sends like a radio wave. So I have a panel for my alarm system, and it's a pain. It was a pain in the butt to get that whole thing connected. I also have a it's funny, when we moved in here, we had that old school thermometer
Yeah.
for your AC and your heater.
Yeah, I have one of those. I need to change it.
Yeah, and when we moved in, it was like it just looked like a little knob thing, and then they took it out and they put this little digital one, which is not really a digital one. It just it's like the same slider, and it just had the little LED button that's like a little square. I ripped that off, dude. As soon as I saw that thing, and I'm just like, cool, I could rip stuff off. Took that off. The guy that was putting the security cameras, he introduced me to this Zigbee smart panel thing, and I'm just like, okay. Pain in the butt. But I will say this: once it's connected, you won't have any issues at all. Like, you'll never have an issue with smart hubs. Smart hubs are very easy to connect. Very, very, very simple. It's pretty much like you plug it into the wall, thing fires up. It says, you open up your app and it says searching for your hub. Found your hub. Cool. Connect it. Right. Underneath, there might be like either a QR code or some kind of number. You punch that sucker in. And the downside of it is sometimes that range is not good. It's not as solid as it should be, even
with the smart hub.
Yeah, even on the 2G. So I'll be on the 2G, the 2.4, and I have the hub at the door and my router way across the other side of the house, and sometimes it will disconnect every now and then, but the disconnect typically happens like around 1 o'clock in the morning, which I'm like, whatever.
I'm hearing a lot of people that are having issues with their cams, their security cams, and it comes down to connection issues. A lot of people are having connection issues, and even with the 2.4, they're not getting a strong enough signal. So I don't know if the older generation security hubs or cams just didn't have a strong enough Wi-Fi chip in them.
Yeah. What they need to do, and actually I don't even know if this exists yet. So you know how we have Wi-Fi repeaters and or extenders. What these hub companies need to do is they need to create a something similar to that. Something very, very, very similar to that, where instead of setting up a Wi-Fi or a router where people could connect to, like an extender or a repeater or whatever, they need to create like some kind of Wi-Fi hub extender where you open up your app and that hub will connect to it, and just piggybacks the signal, and I think if they could figure something out, because I know it kind of sucks when it's kind of like when you buy into that ecosystem. Excuse me. When you buy into that ecosystem, you have that whatever company it is, that router it is. But if you have different types of products, every single one of those products has their own hubs. Imagine having like a grip ton of hubs everywhere.
Okay. I feel like there's a missed opportunity, or there is an opportunity that's not missed yet, with companies that make power line adapters. If they can strip down the power line adapters, make them a little bit more convenient to use, and then integrate them with other technologies like smart home tech to increase the stability. Because look, power line adapters are shooting your internet connection through the electrical system of your house. So if it's already going through the electrical system of your house, then why can't smart home tech tap into that for a better connection? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a huge opportunity right now. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know the details behind it, but I think that there could be something there.
We need to figure something out.
Because one thing that I realized in the past year that completely I didn't realize before was power line adapters, they're compatible. Doesn't matter what brand, what make, what model. The only thing that you want to focus on when you're using power line adapters is the speed. You want to make sure that they're all using the same speed. And even if they're not using the same speed, your network just runs at the slowest speed of the power line adapter that you're using, which generally isn't that bad. Like most people are using, a gigabit connection or 1.5 or 2 when it comes to the adapters that are being sold now. When the power line adapters first came out, they're being sold at like 250, 500 megabytes. But now, like, try to find something that's slow.
Yeah. This is true. Check this out. You know, I like robot cleaners. So I've had a couple already, and I got one that I still use. It's funny, we call them turbo.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll tell Juanita, Juanita, turn turbo on, and then some British girl comes out and says, "Start cleaning." And there he goes. He takes off and starts cleaning. This thing self cleans itself. Itself. Weird, right?
How? What do you mean?
Okay, so we've seen where these robots come in and they'll dump its load.
Okay.
Whatever that is, and it's here. I've seen 2 containers before. Normally it's one big container, that's where all the trash goes in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 2 containers. I've never seen 3 though. This is new. So the biggest thing with these robot vacuums is when it comes to there's your smart door.
Yeah.
When it comes to mopping, it sucks. It's literally here. I'm gonna kind of hard to show you, but here's the vacuum, right? And I'll use my hand. Here's the vacuum. There you go. Here's the vacuum. So it's picking up, it's going bzzz, and it's moving around, right? The mopping capabilities is you attach a piece of cloth, and as it's going, picking it up, it's just dragging it.
Like a Swiffer pad.
Kinda. The vacuum doesn't really spray anything though. It's just picking up trash. You're supposed to put a damp thing on it and just let it do its thing. Now here's the thing. If you have dirty floors and you're just like, yeah, I need to mop it. Typically when you mop it, you do like a 2x2 area maybe where it's wet, you're moving it around, put it in the bucket, you stream it, you dry it, put it back out, right? This thing just keeps going. It's not gonna stream the cloth out. It just keeps it moves the dirt.
These devices are more for maintenance, not for like you don't throw it into a trash bin to clean it. Like,
yeah. So check this out. According to this, and it's funny because the first sentence says robot vacuums that can also mop have largely been disappointing. And I don't mean when they say largely, it's not largely. It's been a disappointing period. Like hard stop. It's not even close.
Yeah.
And right here, they basically drag a wet rag around your floor, which you then later have to clean it, dry it, reattach it, and then refill that tiny little tank that's on there. But this is called the Roborock or the EvoVax, announced 2 new competing products at CES. Their fully automated cleaning and mopping and vacuuming are inching closer and closer to that Rosie the robot dream
from Jetsons.
Yeah. So this new robot features sonic mopping, which means scrubbing rather than dragging. Plus an automatic mop lift that raises the pad when going over carpet while still vacuuming. That's cool. It's compatible. Empty wash fill dock can also wash the mopping cloth, and refill the tank with water, as well as emptying the vacuum and cleaning the dock.
That would be the third tank, no?
Yeah. This is taking away almost all the manual maintenance.
Well, you still have to fill the docking station, right?
From no, like look. Okay, let me read this again. Empty wash fill dock. So when the water comes in, it goes in and dumps it in there. Can also wash the mopping cloth and refill the tank with water. This one doesn't look like it's connected to anything. So you probably have to, put water in there.
Yeah, but that's like whatever.
It's probably whatever. But you know what? I see this coming. They're going to have a way to connect it to a water hose, either underneath your sink or somehow. They have these for with toilets, with bidets and stuff. You could add an extender and have an extra line coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what a bidet is?
Yeah, I know what a bidet is.
All right, just to make sure, you got to wash that ass.
They're very popular in the Caribbean. That was the first time
They're very popular everywhere except for the States.
North America.
Yeah.
I would say North America. Yeah, like when I used to go as a kid, I was like, why do you have 2 toilets in every bathroom? I don't understand.
Question for you. Have you ever tried one?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Okay. We're doing this. We are doing this.
No.
Yes, we are. I'll open up first.
No.
I'll open up first, and then you can go. That way, it's easier for you to do it. First experience using a bidet. Now, if people don't know what a bidet is, in general, and I know with us North Americans, everyone's gonna be like, "Wait, what the hell is that? Who's shooting you with a laser light?"
And Preppy's hitting me with a laser pointer.
You got a sniper over there?
Oh my eye! You're gonna blind me.
You got a sniper shooter? I went to Beijing, Hong Kong, and Tokyo about roughly 10 years ago. And went to Beijing. Luckily for me, they had a regular toilet. And I used the regular toilet. The only thing that was weird about it in Beijing, that toilet, was I don't know bathrooms in Canada. And I have to ask this, is this probably going to sound really weird, but there's different types of bathrooms wherever you go in the world. Example, in Beijing, I had a normal toilet, not a bidet. There was a second one next to it that just looked like a giant hole. And I'm like, I can't sit in that thing. I'll dive in there. But they were right next to each other, right? There was above the bidet, the shower, the sink, and the roll of toilet paper, which was covered, was right in front of the toilet. If I leaned this way, I could touch that wall. If I leaned the opposite way, I could touch the wall. If I leaned forward, I could touch the wall. And right behind me was the wall. It was a small room.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, when you're taking a shower, the toilet is getting wet, the sink is getting wet. There's no curtain in between. It's just one giant wet room. Have you seen that before?
No.
Okay. So Beijing, that's how it is. In China. And then public toilets, they have squatters, is what they were called.
Oh yeah. I've seen pictures of these online.
Yeah. I tried it just for the hell of it. You still there? You look frozen now.
I think I am frozen.
Yeah, definitely frozen. So I can't see your facial expressions now.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Go on without me.
That's the best part of this. Okay, so when I went to Hong Kong, the bathroom was a lot bigger. and a lot bigger. It felt like a normal North American bathroom, I guess you can say.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. It felt like a normal bathroom. It felt like a normal bathroom from the US of A. And I saw the bidet. Actually, no, you know what? The bidet was attached to the toilet. And I'm like, that's interesting. I didn't do it. So I'm over here like already a week and a half in, and now I'm going into Tokyo, Japan, right? And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try it. It had like all these buttons everywhere. It had like music. It had heat temperatures. It had intensities. It had there I don't even know what to call this. It had, you know, like a water hose. You put the little jet spray on there or whatever, and it has like the nozzles for the different styles of water, the way it sprays in there. It had a button for that. Like, do you want it to fan? Do you want it a stream? Do you want it drip, 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 drip? I was looking at this thing like super like intimidated. Like, what do I do? And screw it. I'm like, you know what? I just hit the button to go, and I was like, whoa, oh, shit. I jumped up and I was like, dude, no.
No. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
So I went out, explored the city a little bit that first night, came back, and I was brave enough to try it again on the second go. This time it was like this. I had to go to the bathroom, right? And I was like this, standing in front of it, looking at me. I had my hands on my sides, and I'm looking at it like I'm about to have a pep talk. And I'm just like, okay, temperature, 85 degrees, stream, soft, intensity. Like, I was going through all the different things, right? And I'm like, okay, sit down and go. Push the button. And I'm just like, okay, that wasn't bad. Like, actually, like, that wasn't bad. I'm like, that was kind of nice. I'll say this: by the end of that trip, when I got back home, I bought me an adapter bidet. Ever like and some people might be like, dude, it's something shooting up your. It's not.
It's cleaner for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. Before I go on, what is your story?
I don't really have one. I just, back in the day when I was a kid, we didn't have all those buttons and fanciness and temperatures and nothing. It was literally a tap, and you just turn it on and it shoots you off the freaking thing. So my first experience was turning it on, getting rocketed off of it, and I'm like, I'm never touching this again.
Getting rocketed off. I can see you just exploding off the toilet.
So I was done with it. I never went back ever again. Like, we didn't have all that fancy stuff, the temperatures or whatever.
I gotta say, so obviously when I came back to the States, we don't have all the fancy stuff. And trust me, I looked and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna import one from Japan or from wherever. I'm gonna get a good one. I'm still gonna get a good one, just not now. I'm gonna wait a little bit. You know, we have these new toilets that freaking read your urine
bowel movements, your BMs.
Dude, I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, this would be kind of cool to have. Just make sure I'm being healthy. But this is my analogy to people that say, why would you want something to shoot up your butt like that? Well, obviously you have to get something that's going to work, that is not just going to shoot it up, not like what you had shot you off the toilet. But my argument to everybody is, and remember, California beach, beach cities, the whole freaking coast. You know, we have a whole side of it that's right up against the beach, and we got seagulls. What happens? And I don't know if you guys have seagulls by your lakes over there.
Yeah.
But dude, when they go flying around, they're freaking bombers, man. Like
Yeah.
they're just, you know, they just poop on your head, and what do you do? So when I have this argument with people, especially here in California, they're like, dude, that's gross. Like, you know, you poop and then you have that thing, you're like spraying all over the place. And I'm like, look, if a seagull takes a dump and lands on your shirt, lands on your hair, lands on your forehead, what do you do? And they're like, well, I get a washcloth and clean it off. I'm like, and then what? It's just one wipe and done. They're like, no, well, I'll wash the washcloth off and clean it and stream it off, and then I'll do it again. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that you're getting some kind of liquid, some kind of water to clean yourself. You're not going to just put your hand on your forehead and dry it off with a dry hand, right?
Right.
You're just smearing it. I'm like, that's essentially what we're doing when we go to the bathroom. We get toilet paper and that's what we do. Yeah. And then once I put that thought in people's heads, they're just like, ew. Like, dude, yeah, that's kind of gross. But that's what we do. That's what we're used to. Mm-hmm. Ever since I went to Japan, I'm like,
well, we produce, well, okay, it comes down to North America being a consumer society, right? And we are trained to spend more, to consume more, and to waste more. So with using devices like, I don't even know how this whole episode became a bidet episode, but whatever. But using a device like a bidet, you actually waste less and you consume less, because then you don't need to use as much paper, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Less paper and much better job. I thought I found a video of that Lenovo's dual screen.
I thought you were going to say of a bidet, but I don't want to see it.
You know you want to.
No, I'm good.
Ooh, did I? I think I did. Check this out. Found some leaked footages. So here's that laptop that we were talking about just yesterday. And it's supposed to have that built-in tablet. And this is a Lenovo ThinkPad. Now, well, I'll get to Lenovo in a second, but it looks like you could do a lot of stuff where you're going to be able to use a pen of some sorts if you need to like draw. This will be really good for artists. I don't know who else this will be good for. Not video creators, or maybe, I don't know if there's a way to shortcut this, but yeah, see, like he like chooses the thing and it updates on, you know what I mean? It's I don't know if this would be good for people who have like Adobe products, because maybe have shortcuts where you could put videos there and you can use the main screen as your editing platform.
If I was live streaming, I'd put the chat there.
Look, see?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm always looking for a calculator.
See that? You know what? That would be cool if you had the live chat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's, what do you think about Lenovo ThinkPads?
I think that they are really solid but boring products. I think that's the best way to describe Lenovo. Like, they're really, really good products. They'll last you a while. Really good construction, but they're boring to hell.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy one because I know that they're good quality products.
Personally, I'm not a Lenovo fan.
Well, Lenovo is just IBM, is it not?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't like Lenovo.
No, Lenovo doesn't like you.
They don't. Every time I've ever played with Lenovo, it's always been good, for now. And then give it about 2 years or 3 years, and then it's actually remember the laptop that was having Wi-Fi issues?
I'll take it.
Lenovo. I haven't reset the whole thing yet. I need to, but it's a great little laptop. Like this thing is actually, looks brand spanking new. And it was listed for like 400 or 500 bucks on Amazon. Fixing it is not an issue. Like to get it up and running, like where it's smooth again, fast again, where it doesn't drop, like all that stuff. It's not an issue. The problem is when you spend 500 bucks on a laptop, it better work more than 2 years. My rule of thumb, depending on what you're doing, if you're doing something really basic and you spend 500 bucks on a laptop, this better last for 5 years.
I don't know. I kind of feel like anything less than $1,000 is not really anything on a computer or a laptop these days. But I'm talking Canadian, so that's like 700 US.
But again, I'm also saying depending on what you're doing. If you're doing the basic, like we're talking about YouTube, Word doc, Excel.
So Chromebooks have gotten really good lately. And if you spend $500 on a Chromebook, you're getting a really nice Chromebook.
I'm not a Chromebook fan. I keep hearing how great they are, but I'm just not a fan of those Chromebooks. But I don't know. If I spend over $1,000, then that means that laptop better have some kind of a decent chip, a decent graphics card, some kind of solid state dual drive, or SSD/HDD, whatever. Just like something decent where it's like, cool, this is good. It like if I spend $1,000 and I'm going to be like doing a little bit more than just YouTubing, like if I might be gaming or something, I normally cut the life in half. If I spend $1,000, half of 1,500, 5 years on a gaming laptop. If I spend $2,000, half of that 1,000, 10 years.
Well, I just upgraded my gaming laptop. Did I tell you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't.
No. So this laptop, when I bought it because it had a decent CPU and a half decent graphics card in it. So it has a 1660 Ti in it, and it's running a Ryzen 7. I think it's the 4500 or something like that as the processor. So it's got a decent processor and a half decent graphics card, right? But it only came with 512 gigs of hard drive space, right? And it came with 16 gigs of RAM. So I was like, it's got 2 slots for the M.2. So if I wanted to add an extra drive, I could. So I've added in a 2 terabyte M.2. So it's got 2 M.2s in there. And when we popped it open, seeing that the original 16 gigs of RAM was only 1 stick. So I threw in another stick of 16. So now it's got 32 gigs of RAM and 2.5 terabytes of storage in it. That's a decent, and it's running a 1660 Ti. So this should last me a little while.
Yeah, for sure. What do you got here?
Oh,
is this from Keurig?
It's Black & Decker, which is weird, but okay. It says the Keurig for making cocktails made me confront how easy it is just to make yourself a drink. For $300 and the cost of liquor, this machine will measure things for you. I don't know. That one that you had yesterday looks. I think it's better, but whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that. It reminded me of yesterday.
Interesting. So Barzy's has I did that drink yesterday, and Barzy's had a pretty cool coaster. They have another one that looks like a little conveyor belt, and you put the drinks on top and the juices on the side, and then you just put the drink, choose whatever you want, and then it does it. That's actually a kind of cool concept where it looks like a Keurig. I don't know
Like
if
a
you put
bartender
I don't know if you'll put like a little
pod.
K cup or something in there that has some sort of ingredients or some sort of purees of some sorts. I don't know. It looks interesting, but well, see, Black and Decker, interesting. Black and Decker has a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of good kitchen products. So cool. We're already an hour in. Crazy. We need to do a part 2 because there's so much stuff coming from CES.
Oh, dude, we talked about. I showed you this one yesterday, and we forgot to look at this shit.
You know what? Let's do part 2.
Look at that thing. You can see it moving, right?
I'm not pulling it up.
What?
Let's do a part 2. Part 2. Tease everybody. Part 2. Don't tell them what it is though. Part 2 on our CES 2022 post coverage, our general tech news. A week from now, you have to see what the hell Next Level's talking about.
This is pretty
So,
cool.
so make sure you guys stay tuned to the next episode. That thing is pretty nice. Pretty nice though. I just
Big fan of that company too. I love their stuff.
So anything you got to say before we go?
You know what I say, guys. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting what we do here on Beyond the Streams. Make sure if you're listening to us on the audio side that you are also leaving a review so other people like yourself can find the content that you enjoy. If you'd like to come out and be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation, make sure that you stop by every Thursday around 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Beyond the Streams YouTube channel, where you can actually interact with us during the live stream. So make sure that you have your notifications turned on and you're subscribed everywhere that you possibly can be. Make sure you check the links in the description below so that you can find us everywhere and turn those on. And you never know where the conversation is going to go, who we're going to have on, who we're going to be interviewing, what companies we're going to be connecting with, and where your next great tech idea or deal is going to be had. So make sure that you check in with us, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.